All right, folks, I'm going to read to you another article that should be of particular interest to you. The implications of this are quite interesting, and this article comes from last week, but undoubtedly, this one is going to have some serious ramifications, not only on what we read about in the Bible regarding end times prophecy, but most definitely on the United States of America. Now, the title of the article is Nicaragua Approves Joint Military Exercises with Russia. Now, let me read a few paragraphs here. And it says this. It says Nicaragua's parliament on Tuesday gave the go-ahead for Russian troops to be allowed into the country for joint military exercises despite concerns from Washington. Yeah, you think Washington's a little concerned? Anyway, the chamber, dominated by allies of President Daniel Ortega, voted to allow troops and military hardware from Russia, the United States, and 7 Latin American countries into Nicaragua. Ortega had submitted a decree to Parliament for approval authorizing foreign troop participation in, quote, in exchange of experience, training exercises, and humanitarian aid operations. Yeah, right, humanitarian aid. Anyway, allowing for the entry of foreign military personnel as well as ships and aircraft, the decree lists naval and air force exercises to fight drug traffickers and international organized crime. Yeah, right. Anyway, the United States on Monday imposed fresh sanctions on Nicaraguan officials for holding over 180 political prisoners, with many suffering from a lack of adequate food, proper medical care, and even sunlight. I do think it's really funny how they're beating up Nicaragua. Not that I'm defending them. They're just the leader of Nicaragua. Nicaragua is terrible. But isn't it funny how the U.S. is sanctioning them because of them holding political prisoners when we've got January 6th going on? Anyway. Sorry about that. I got to be careful. Ortega is a former Marxist firebrand who ousted dictator Anastasio Somoza, who fought off U.S.-backed Contra rebels in a bloody war in the 1980s. Now, I think what is interesting about this are the biblical implications of this. First of all, this goes to show that Russia is growing in its reach and growing in its power, and it is continuing to contribute to the narrative that we already know, that there will not be any consequential superpowers in the last days. And so the security position of the United States will be diminished as a result of these military exercises, because what a lot of people don't know is when those military exercises take place in South America, then those all of the equipment that was used for those exercises end up staying there, and they become defended positions by the sovereign nation that chose to bring that stuff in, which means Russia expands its reach, continues to be in a place where they have a whole lot of strength that a lot of people don't want to admit that they have. And the reality of it is, we are not fans of Russia. We will never be fans of Russia, but we are fans of the Bible. And the Bible tells us that when Russia goes to attack Israel, there will be no superpowers in place to defend Israel. And the only one that does defend Israel, in essence, will be God. God himself will defend Israel, and Israel will prevail as a result of God's defense of Israel. But it just continues to show us that the strength of Russia is continuing to grow, and the anticipatory mechanism that we see driving the inconsequentiality of the United States is also beginning to grow. We're watching it, we're seeing it happen, and it just continues to confirm what we already know, and that is Jesus is coming soon, folks, because the world stage is being set for the theater, which will be post-rapture, and it is going to be a very interesting time as God begins to deal with the Jews and executes his judgment on the rest of the world. And folks, that time is coming sooner than you think, so heads up, Jesus is coming soon. Love you guys. God bless you.